So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to set up a grade override column in Schoology. The purpose of this is to just make sure that the grades in Schoology are also an accurate reflection of what is seen in the Home Access Center. First thing you're going to do, you're going to click on the Schoology course that you would like to edit. If your sections aren't linked, you're going to have to do this multiple times. But if your sections are linked, you just need to do this once. You're going to go into the gradebook, and then you're going to click on the gray plus sign. I'm going to shift down to my third period here. You also want to make sure that you're still back in quarter one. You might see that the grade book has shifted because we are technically in quarter two. But you're going to click on the gray plus sign. You're going to click on add grade column. And then you're going to get a box that should populate, and you're going to fill in the box, say the following. So RP1 grade override. We want to keep it out of 100 points. We're going to set it to a summative. We're going to keep it in quarter one. So this is actually important now that the gradebook has the ability to go into quarter two, make sure it says quarter one. And then again, if your sections are linked, you just need to set the due date once. We're going to set it to the 29th of October because technically that was the last day of the report period. And you're going to click create. I already have a column set up, so I don't need to click on that. You'll see the grade column populate here. This will also go to all of your other courses if your sections are linked. Then what you want to do, you are going to add in a faux grade for each student in need of an override. So for example, I'm going to show you the student's grade prior to me adding in that override. And I've made the decision that this student should pass the report period, so I want to get that student to just a 65. So I'm going to input a 77 here to make that happen. You're going to have to finagle this based on where students' grades are at. If students ask about it, I just like to explain it as like extra credit points or a curve. It's really based on how you want kids to interpret it. Extra credit sometimes give the impression that like it was an assignment or something. But if your kids understand that, that's a way that you can explain it. Just so that kids don't think that it's like something that they were missing, right, from the grade book. Once you've done that for the students that you need to edit, you are going to go down to eSchool Plus to sync. Some folks are familiar with syncing using this, like the recycle icon up here. I like to go right to eSchool Plus because then you actually can see everything syncing in real time. And I'm going to sync my changes like so. This will take a couple moments, but you should see everything sync successfully. If for some reason you see something sync unsuccessfully, go back and check all those things that we've talked about, like due dates and making sure that there's a grade category assigned, etc. Then we want to make sure that this is normed in the Teacher Access Center. So I'm going to sign in a new tab. And we just want to make sure that this synced over. Sometimes the sync can take a couple minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Sometimes it's instantaneous. It's kind of just like at the draw. So if you don't see it immediately, that's okay. I'm going to go in and I am going to check and make sure that the grade has been imported. So you can check this in two ways. If you've already entered in all of your final grades, I like to just go into the report card and then you can populate load from gradebook. And I just want to double check that same student whose grade I overrode in Schoology. That student is here and I can see that that went through. If for some reason, and you've checked, you've come back, it's been a couple hours and you still see the grade isn't syncing, you can override directly in the Teacher Access Center to make it normed. So I want the student to have a 65. You can literally click on the quarter column and type in 65 and then save using a floppy disk here just to make sure. So again, if for whatever reason, and you've checked, you've done all the things, it still doesn't sync over, you can override in the Teacher Access Center here. And that is all. That is all you need to do to make sure that students' grades are synced with the appropriate overrides in both Schoology and in the Teacher Access Center.